Hello, welcome. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. I've just been so busy with everything real life. I tried filming a video last weekend and then the file corrupted, so I lost the footage, which was great. But this weekend, there's a lot of special offers with divines, so I thought I would kind of share my method of getting divines through special offers, because I don't have a huge amount of divines. If we go have a look quickly, this is most of them, and then I've got a few here. But the vast majority of these, there's several exceptions. They had that Etrian, that like accompaniment game, and if you got to a certain point in the game you got 2 divines, and some, like the reindeer, I've got through contests, but the majority I've gotten from just being lucky in the weekend promos. So Gemini and Saturn, I think maybe even missed, but basically there's 5 or 6 that I've gotten from just being really lucky in the weekend promos. And so I have a bit of a method to it, and I thought I would share that with you. So the first thing I do is I prepare for the weekends, and there's various ways I do that, but the main one is every day I go into the directories and I find 5 random xanthuses, how do you even say that, and I go and strike them all, because every day you have a chance of then getting a free Horn of Plenty. Also during events, if there are luck items available, I always try and get those. I do sometimes go in the item exchange to get extra luck items, but on the whole, as you'll see in a bit, my method or strategy, kind of, not necessarily a great one, but I've gotten a fair number of divines going off it, so in general my strategy doesn't really involve using loads of luck items, which is great if you don't have a lot to spare. And basically, after I've been preparing, the first thing I do when the weekend promos start is I go and I look up what horses are available and also what the deals are. So we have Spring, Ran, and Tyr. I think that's how you say all of them. So first up, Spring, for 1,400 passes in the direct sales. So I already know that I'm not going to go for Spring, because the first thing I do is I look up what the bonuses are of each divine, and for 30 skill points, which don't actually get added to your overall skill points, I don't think, for the ranking, and 5,000 equus a day during spring, so 7 days. So like every 4th week you get 35,000 equus. And then I do have VIP, so I could make use of this, but I don't feel the need to lower my maximum boarding. Like, none of this is useful to me. So that's what I do. I go and I look what the deal is. I look at what the divine is and what the divine offers. So Ran, when you get to 420 points, they give you a foal of a breed and a coat you don't yet have. And if you already have all of them, then you get a foal with a random breed and coat. So Ran is actually quite useful to me. Not hugely, like I would much rather one that actually gave out black market items, but considering Ran is in the Horns of Plenty, and I am very far off having all of the breeds. If I look at my trophies quickly, I am so far off having all of the coats for all of the breeds. So far off. Yeah, as you can see, these are literally the only 3 out of all of them. So ran could be a good way to just slowly chip away at that, help towards it. And then tier. Tier is more useful. Takes longer to get there, but you get a Themis' scale. So now that I know roughly what all of them do, I look at what the deal is. As I said, I know already I'm not going to go for spring because I just think 1,400 passes to get 35,000 Equus, which is really not that much at all. I don't care about the VIP perk. 1,400 just to have a pretty much useless divine. I'm not wasting my money on that. Plus, they seem to be re-releasing the Zodiacs, and I only have one of the Gemini. I would rather save my passes, and those tend to be re-released in the direct sales, so I would rather save my passes for the second Gemini, because currently one Gemini on its own is pretty useless. And also Leo one should be coming out soon, and that's I am a Leo, so I think I get an extra bonus from having Leo if that is my particular zodiac. So I'm saving my passes for when those become available, hopefully soon. Hopefully I won't be waiting ages and ages for them, but we'll see. So I've decided not to go for that one. Normally I don't go for the direct sales ones. I only go for the direct sales ones if there's something I really want. So even before I looked at the perks and how much it was, just from the fact that it was in direct sales, I was already put off it a bit. So then I've kind of established that these two would be useful. So I'm gonna have a go at getting both of them. So in our golden fleece, I don't have any in stock right now. I've used them up, but quite often I'll have some in stock. I could do a quick look in the item exchange. Looking for a golden fleece. None available, so yeah, just giving up on that. So what I do is I basically just have a rule that I try for one. If I get lucky, I get lucky. If I don't, I leave it. And I just try one item each week. So, nope. That was a very unlucky golden fleece. A really unlucky one. That is terrible. So yeah, I try one and then I leave it. That's not bad on the fragment front though, actually, to be honest, to be fair. So that would take 20, so that's 40,000 passes, roughly, but absolutely terrible on the rewards front. I'm so glad that the fragments carry over though now, because now I can just start chipping away at it. So then I'll go to the next one. So with Horns of Plenty, on the whole, I try to stay to the rule of one. However, if there's a divine that I think might actually be useful in the Horns of Plenty, then I might try some more. Now, it's probably going to be actually faster for me to be breeding or buying my own horses than it will be to spend loads and loads of Horns of Plenty and passes on Ran. Now, luckily, I have quite a good stock of free ones, but I think I'm going to be willing to actually spend a little bit more, just because this will help me towards a trophy that I am quite far away from getting, and quite a few trophies, so which will help boost my overall general ranking. So I'm going to take a quick look at my history of items, and looking at the Horns of Plenty, I'm going to see how many I've gotten this week. And you can see I've gotten 3 from Xanthuses this week. So, okay, I have 29 available. I could feasibly get 1 or 2 more over the course of the weekend. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm on 29. I really like round numbers. I'm going to say I will allow myself to use up to 4 Horns of Plenty. That's not like masses, but seeing as it's on Horns of Plenty generally tend to have better odds of getting them, I find. Although if you watch my Finding the Love Divines one, you'll see that isn't always true. I had terrible luck with that though. I think most people found a lot more than I did for that many Horns of Plenty. But hopefully within 4 we'll actually get some. Okay, some tack, 51. So the fragments are being quite generous this weekend, it seems, although calling 50 fragments out, oh, that was a terrible Horn of Plenty. Oh no, these have been really bad Horns of Plenty. Okay, I got a Hero's Pack. Okay. Oh, this is when it gets really difficult, because you get into a thing and you're like, how much do I want it? You know what? I've got, okay, 20 Horns of Plenty, in theory, should be enough to get, if something really good comes up next weekend, I should still be able to get it with 20 Horns of Plenty, and hopefully I'll have got a few more over the course of the week. So there are other ones that do offer the same price as Ran, but I do just really like the Nordic Divines, to be honest. I really like their concept and everything, so I'm going to try 5 more. Oh, 3 Horn of Plenty. That is not bad. But still no Ran. And okay, now we're starting to actually get black market items, so this is okay. 37. Okay, right. No, okay. If we get to 20 and I don't have it yet, I'm going to have to really exercise some really strong self-restraint. Yeah, normally if I didn't have this many Horns of Plenty, I would not be doing this. But sort of like 20 is sort of like my buffer safe zone. Just I want to have like at least 20 at all times just to... Oh, no. Okay, and that's it. I'll have a quick look in the item exchange just to see if there's any Horns of Plenty going, because I don't want to spend passes on it really. Yeah, there's nothing I'm willing to trade there. So, guess we're exercising some pretty solid self-restraint. And then, in the next few days, if I get some more Horns of Plenty while the offer's still on, I might try again. But, I'm going to leave it now. So even though I was unlucky today, I have actually gotten quite lucky in the past with sort of like my one-use policy. I tend to go over the one-use policy for Horns of Plenty if I have a lot floating around and it's a divine that's actually going to be useful for me. But with Golden Fleeces and Titans Challenge, I have a very strict one-use policy. I think I may have broken it when Jade was in, was it Titans Challenges? I can't remember. Yeah, when some of the gemstone ones were out, I opened 2 or maybe 3, I think. But on the whole, I try just use 1 every weekend, use 1 and hope for the best. And actually, I've gotten quite a few from, you know, first try. I mean, a lot of it has been the wilds that I've gotten on the first try. But on the whole, it tends to work quite well for me. Like, I can't afford to go out and spend masses every single weekend. So instead of, well, with Horns of Plenty, I try to save up for ones that I know I definitely want and definitely can get. But with ones in the other items, I just, instead of spending loads of passes for 1 or 2, like, the really good ones don't come around very often, so I tend to just use 1 and then every weekend, and then hopefully I get a collection of like less useful but still useful divines, and that's what I've slowly been building up. So I now have, I think it's something like 20... Yeah, I have 20 divines, and I've actually got 4 wild horses and 2 chimeras, just from being lucky first try with the luck items. And to be honest, I haven't actually been doing this for very long. I know I've had my account for years and years, but I didn't actually seriously start trying for divines or playing. Kind of had a big hiatus. And I didn't really know about stroking Xanthus for Horns of Plenty. I got very confused when you didn't get a Horn of Plenty immediately afterwards. That confused me quite a bit to start with. So for ages, literally years, until I think maybe even this year, the beginning of this year, I think, was when I started stroking Xanthuses like every day, and actually being able to stock up my Horns of Plenty. And now that I do, everything just seems so much easier, and I've gotten so many more divines and wild horses and things since then. Not that they're all in Horns of Plenty, but it's just felt like I've had more resources because of that. Yeah, so basically, long story short, I prepare by using the events and Xanthus to get Horns of Plenty every day, and then on the actual weekends, I look at the perks, make sure that if I'm actually spending passes and I don't have an item in my inventory, that they're actually divines that have useful perks and I really want to go for. And then I have a 1 item only policy. Sometimes I break it with the Horns of Plenty like I did today, but on the whole, just a 1 use only policy. And it doesn't do badly. Wasn't lucky this weekend, but on the whole, I reckon I get at least 1 divine or something, like at least every month, which is not bad at all. So, I mean, a lot of that is generally in Horns of Plenty because I have loads of them, but yeah, that's my method. Let me know if you do something similar or have different methods. I'd love to discuss it all. And hopefully see you soon in a new video. Okay, bye.